Hello, hello. What is going on, guys? Hope you are having an amazing day. As you guys join in, hashtag I'm here. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. This is going to be recorded for a podcast. So if you guys are typing in the chat somewhere, if you have any questions, type it in there, and then I'll get back to you after. If you see me looking all over the place, it's because we're on Instagram. Right here, we're on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. And then here, we're on TikTok. So I'm all over the place. All right. So as you guys join in, hashtag I'm here. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. And in today's podcast, guys, what we're going to be discussing is how to lose fat without relying on excuse me. Whoa. How to lose fat without relying on cardio and doing endless hours of cardio. Because that is what most people do when we're trying to lose some weight, trying to lose some excess fat. All right. So we're going to make sure that you're not continuing to kill yourself doing cardio, lose all that weight, gain it back like you have in the past. All right. So we're going to get started in this podcast in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Results Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to lose fat without relying and doing endless hours of cardio. Okay, so if you are somebody that absolutely hates cardio, this one is for you. All right, so let's get into it. Um, I always like to say cardio is a tool for fat loss. Cardio is a tool for fat loss. We want to use cardio as a tool and not the primary means of fat loss. It should never be the only tool that you have in your tool belt. Okay. I see so many people just like grinding away on the treadmill, running, people that are, extremely overweight that are running and just beating up their joints, and they're crushing themselves. They're doing these hit classes, they're messing up their bones, they're messing up their joints, only thinking that that's the only way, like thinking that that's the only way to drop some weight and to drop pounds. Okay, but it doesn't have to be the only way. All right. I remember a long, 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 long time ago when I would go to, when I was like first starting to really kind of understand about training and nutrition. I wasn't a trainer yet, but I would see this one lady just like running on the treadmill for hours. Like she would get there when I would go to the gym, and we'd probably be leaving around the same time, and she was drenched. She was like doing interval training. She would run for like, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds, then rest for 15 or 20 seconds. And then like she would just do this for at least an hour. And then the time she wasn't doing that, she would be walking. And I'm like, man, I want to tell her something. I want to tell her that she could do this another way. So hopefully she's watching now, or hopefully she's not doing this anymore. But it doesn't have to be just cardio, guys. You don't have to beat up your bones, your joints. You don't have to walk out of the gym drenched in sweat in order just to lose fat. Okay. So we're going to be talking about like priorities. Okay. We're going to be talking about a prioritization of things. Okay. So number one, with me, what losing fat means is not just seeing that number on the scale move, okay? But it means seeing your body composition change. What does seeing your body composition change mean? That means feeling the difference in your clothes, all right? That means seeing the difference in your body. That means not just seeing the number on the scale move, because the number on the scale moving down is great, gives us a little endorphin high, right? But that does not dictate everything. How you feel, your energy levels, how your clothes are fitting, how you're waking up, all of that stuff has a lot to do with your actual transformation journey. And so many of us get caught up on just a number on the scale. Okay. So, in order to see our body composition change, we want to focus on exercise. We want to focus on resistance training, and particularly compound movements. If you guys are not doing compound movements and you're just doing these like swipe workouts and these stuff you see on like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, whatever, like guys, you have to focus on these main compound movements, because these are the things that are going to get you further and progress your body composition. Okay. It's not this crazy fancy exercise that we've never done that you're like, I've never seen that exercise. It's the quote unquote boring stuff. All right. Compound movements are not only going to help you start losing weight, but you're going to burn fat more efficiently. And they include these little muscles that we all want to, shine through, right? Like our glutes, like our hamstrings, like our abs, like our arms, like our shoulders. Okay. So, what are compound movements? Okay. Compound movements, actually, we'll get into that. So, hang tight. Okay. So, if you've, these are going to work multiple muscles. Okay. Multiple muscle groups at once. So, for example, I'll give you a sneak preview. If we're doing a barbell row or a dumbbell row, we're not just working out our back, which is the primary muscle group that is worked. Okay, but we're working our biceps as well. We're working our core because we have to be stable. So you're getting multiple muscles engaged at one time. Okay, and that's what really helps reshape your body while you get stronger and while you feel leaner. Okay, so like when you start feeling comfortable in your clothes, like there's no feeling like it. There's no feeling like being able to fit into your old clothes, to close that belt loop again, to not have your belly just hanging over your waistline, right? That's like really when you start feeling the change, right? That way, and sometimes the scale will stay the same for weeks, okay? But you'll feel the difference in your clothes. This means that you're transforming your body. So let's talk about the compound exercises, okay? Some compound exercises are chest presses, okay? So when you're doing a chest press, what else are we working? Okay, so we're doing a chest press. What other muscle are we working when we're doing a chest press? Well, we're working our tricep, okay? Our core is always engaged, by the way, guys. Our core is always on. Core is always on and active. But a chest press, okay? So not only are you going to be involving your chest, okay, you're going to be involving your shoulders, okay, you're going to be involving your triceps, you're going to be involving lots of stabilizer muscles that are included with that. So that way you don't have to spend 2 hours doing like a 2 hour arm day at the gym to get rid of your bat wings or to get like lean and tone arms. Okay. If this is making sense, just say makes sense. If you're watching, not listening to the podcast, obviously, but if you're watching live, just say makes sense in the comments. Okay. Another compound exercise, okay, are what we spoke about earlier a second ago, right? Rows, okay? Barbell rows, dumbbell rows, machine rows, okay? When you're doing that, you're not only when you're doing a row and you're pulling the weight close to your body, you're not just working your back, okay, but you're also working your biceps, okay? If you're doing like a barbell row or a dumbbell row and you're just leaned over, you're likely working your core as well. So that way you're not like wiggling around. Yeah. So that way, again, we're not spending 2 hours on doing an arm workout. When you are doing something like a lunge, okay? When you're doing lunges, okay, you're working your quads, you're working your hamstrings, you're working your glutes, your calves are stabilizing you. Hopefully, you're working your core so you're not tipping over, right? So these guys are exercises that work multiple muscles at one time. Another compound exercise is a shoulder press. So when we do a shoulder press or most pressing movements, we're not only just working our shoulders, okay, all three heads of our shoulders, but we're working our triceps as well. Okay, we're working our core. Again, you guys are noticing that your core is engaged in all of these movements because otherwise, if your core wasn't engaged, you'd just be like tipping over. Okay, you're working your core as well. Guys, these types of exercises and these types of movements are movements that like pack a punch when it comes to like fat loss and muscle building. Okay, so number one, guys, is focusing on these types of exercises, okay, in order to make sure that you're not spending hours at the gym. Okay, we'll talk about cardio in just a second because I know you're like, but what happened? What happened to the cardio? We're still going to use cardio, but like I said in the beginning of this podcast, we're going to use cardio as a tool. Okay, number two, guys, is your nutrition. You have to focus on your nutrition. You have to make sure that you are eating for your goals, not just quote unquote eating clean. Okay, eating clean will get you so far until you hit a plateau, and then once you hit a plateau, what's going to happen is you're going to get frustrated. You're going to start eating all the shit that you weren't eating before because you hit a plateau, you peaked, and then you go back, and then you don't start working out or doing cardio again until you're sick of how you look again. Okay. So what I recommend that you guys do is use an app. There's like Lose It, I think is an app, MyFitnessPal, um, Chronometer. There's lots of different um, tracking applications that you could use to track your food. And I used to be like a lot of you right now. And I used to be like, I'm not going to learn this calorie shit. Like, I don't want to turn the back of a label and do this. And as I mentioned, it'll get you there. Like, it'll get you to a certain spot. Okay. And you'll lose weight. But then if you want to, I don't know, go out to eat, or if you want to be able to enjoy some food that you normally don't have, or what's quote unquote considered like not healthy, right? If you do that, you're not gonna have any idea of if you're ruining your diet or if you're doing good on your diet because you haven't created a base. Okay. So what I recommend that you do is you track your food on one of these apps that I mentioned, and you need to track your food for at least 2 weeks. Okay. Guys, I promise you, if you track every single food that you intake, the good, the bad, the ugly, if you track every single food that you intake for 2 weeks, and you weigh yourself daily and you see what that does to the scale, you will learn more about your body in those 2 weeks than you probably have all your life. So track your food on an app consistently. Okay. What I also recommend, because we are again trying to change our body fat, not just our body weight, is to have at least, type this in the chat if you're watching live. If you're listening on the podcast, obviously just write it in a note or something. You need to have at least 70% of your body weight in grams of protein. So 70% of your body weight in grams of protein. That is the minimum if you want to be able to lose fat. Okay, and see your body composition change. 70% of your body weight, okay, in grams. 70% of your body weight in grams of protein. So that means if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be getting at least 140 grams of protein in a day. But Coach Fatty, how am I going to get 140 grams of protein in a day? I barely eat as it is. Well, as I told a client earlier today, you are now eating for your goals, not just eating when you're hungry. Right now, what a lot of us are doing is we're just eating when we're hungry. We just eat whenever our body tells us, okay? I want you to eat like you're fueling a well-oiled machine because you deserve it. All right? What I like to do for my clients is I set up their protein, carbs, and fat goals. And then what I do is I divide it by 4 meals. Unless they're eating more. If they're eating a lot more, we probably got to split up between 5 meals. But between 4 meals, okay? So if I divide 140 by 4, because we're having 4 meals a day, that's what? 35 grams of protein per meal. If you get 35, you make sure to get 35 grams of protein per meal. Because again, we're eating for our goals. Okay. We're not just eating to eat. All right. So at least 70% of your body weight in grams of protein. All right. For fat, if we're on a deficit, if we're on a cut, at least 25% of your calories should be coming from fat. Okay. So at least 25% of your calories should be coming from fat. And then the rest of the calories just go to carbs. Okay. So the tricky part is, and I was actually just speaking to one of my clients, Stacy, last week. We changed her macros up a bit, and I'm a carb guy. I'm a big carb guy. Okay. But not everybody's a carb person. Not everybody wants to eat carbs. But what we did is we have her eating a bit more fats than I would normally have of someone that has her activity level, the exercise we're going through, and the workouts. Like if I had a doppelganger of her, I would normally have them eat more carbs. But with her, we have her eating a bit more fat, and that's actually keeping her fuller longer. Okay. So like everybody's different. Okay. Everybody's different. You got to find out like what works for them. That's, what I do a lot for my clients is figure out what works best for them. So we input the data, we have them try it out, see how they feel, and then we make adjustments along the way. Okay. So that's what we do with nutrition. Make sense? That's what we do with nutrition. Number 3, so you're not doing hours and hours and hours of cardio like you have before, is again using cardio as a tool. Okay. So how do we use cardio as a tool? Fatty, I always hear you say use cardio as a tool for fat loss. What the hell does that mean? Use cardio as a tool for fat loss means that we're not doing 7 1-hour sessions when we start. Okay. We ease into our cardio. Okay. So this is how I set up the cardio for my clients. It just depends on if they're working out at home or, excuse me, they're working out at home or if they're working out at a gym. So if they're working out at home, we start them on steps. I have them hit a step goal, okay? And the goal is to hit these steps every single day. And then what we do over the weeks is we add a bit more steps as we progress through the program to make sure that we break past these plateaus. So like that way we're not going all out in the beginning so they get these quick. This is what usually happens. All right. This is what usually happens. You do a ton of cardio in the beginning. You lose 10 pounds in a week and you think that it's going to be consistent because you got whatever, 40 pounds to lose. And you're like, this is going to be easy. You lose 10 pounds in a week. Week 2, you don't feel as good. So maybe you don't do an hour of cardio a day. You do 45 minutes. Week 3, you do 30 minutes. And then instead of losing 10 pounds, now you're losing 5 pounds. Now you're losing 1 pound a week. And you get discouraged. Then you fall off. Okay. What I'm saying is do the exact opposite of what you normally do. Ease into your cardio. Okay. So for clients that are working out at home, I have them hit a step goal. For clients that are working out at a gym, we set a calorie burn goal on their machine of choice. Okay. And then again, we slowly increase from there or we take away some food. Ideally, we want to do a little bit of both. So that way we're not adding too much cardio or taking away too much food. If that makes sense, just say makes sense in the comments. And this is how you start seeing your body composition change and you are able to lose fat without just doing hours and hours of cardio. I used to be that person. I would wake up. It was ridiculous. I would wake up. I would have like 2 or 3 layers of shirts. I would have a thermal and I would have a jacket and then I would have like 1 or 2 pairs of shorts. And then I would have like sweatpants and I'd have windbreakers and I'd be going on the stairs for like 30 minutes and doing intervals. And then I would binge eat at night because I'm burning so many calories and I'm burning myself out. And then it would end up being the same exact weight from day to day. It was frustrating. So learn from my mistakes. All right, we're going to review these 3 things. Number 1 is focus on compound exercise. If you guys are watching live, type this in the chat. Number 1, focus on compound exercises. Okay, compound exercises like what we mentioned: shoulder presses, chest presses, lunges, squats. These are big movements that include multiple muscles. Okay, and once you work these multiple muscles, you're working the smaller muscles as well. Okay, then you can blast your biceps or your lateral raises or whatever at the end of your workout. All right. Number 2 is eat for your goals. At least 70% of your body weight in grams of protein per day. Okay. At least 25% of your 25% of your calories for fat and leave the rest for protein. Track all your food. Don't bullshit. Don't say I'm eating clean, but I can't lose weight. No, what is not tracked is not measurable. Okay. What's not tracked is not measurable. And number 3 is ease into your cardio. Number 3 is ease into your cardio. All right. You will, guys, do this. Do this. I should be charging you for this. Nah, it's all over the internet. But hopefully hopefully this clicked for you the way I said it. All right. That is my goal. If this helped one person, that is the goal. All right. But guys, I promise you will feel the difference in your body composition. You'll feel the difference in your clothes. Eventually that scale will continue moving down if you do these things consistently. All right. So that is it. That wraps up this podcast of how to lose fat without doing tons of cardio. Okay. if you are not already, depending on what platform you're on. Instagram, Real Results FTNS. TikTok is just one word, Real Results Fitness. YouTube, Edit Your Body. That is it, guys. Hope you guys got a ton of value. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself. Stay consistent. And I promise you're going to see results throughout the whole process. All right. Bye. What's up, TikTok? Facebook, what's up? Instagram, hello. Questions, comments, you guys just type it in the chat. Cool. What's up, TikTok? If you guys are not already, go to, can I type here on TikTok? I still don't know how to use TikTok's lives fully. Instagram. So if you go on Instagram, it's Real Results FTNS. Real Results FTNS. Somebody already had Real Results Fitness as the username. So FTNS instead of the full name. All right. Cool. Let me see here. Questions. 25% of calories from fat. Yeah. All right. There you guys go. All right. We are engaging here. Awesome, guys. Cool. All right. And then, of course, the Real Results podcast. If you guys just go on Spotify or what's the other one? Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. Just the Real Results podcast. All right, guys. All these episodes will be up. Cool. If there are no questions, that's going to be it. Hope you guys got a ton of value from this. That's all. I'm like trying to move because my phone is behind my computer screen. There we go. Now I can see it. Cool. Questions, comments, concerns. If not, forever hold your peace. TikTok, Real Results FTNS. TikTok. Go follow on Instagram. It's instagram.com/Real Results FTNS. Real Results FTNS. Instead of Real Results Fitness is one word, it's Real Results FTNS. Cool, guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Hope you guys got a ton of value from this. And I'll see you. I might be doing a podcast tonight because I'm a day behind. So you may or may not see me tonight. If not, you will see me tomorrow. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your evening, day. Make sure to go get your workout in if you haven't. That's what I'm going to go do. Talk to you guys all later. Bye.